Nation, it's your boy Jonathan, and no, I am not Lawrence. Welcome to Nostalgia 100. Law's on vacation for a couple weeks, so instead of letting the show go dormant, I thought I would jump in because there's been some interesting news on the Friday the 13th front. Now, for those of you who don't know the origin of Friday the 13th, not the holiday, but the movie series, a man named Sean Cunningham, after watching Halloween, he was a porn producer and he wanted to get in the movie business. And Halloween was massively successful, so he wanted to do something like that. And he just thought the name Friday the 13th sounded awesome. So he took out a full page ad that said Friday the 13th, something like the most terrifying movie you'll ever see, or something like that. And he just put it out there in the world. And he had no idea what the movie was going to be, had no script, had no nothing. He just had a full page ad. And so then he was rushing to get finished by the time that date came. So then he hired a man named Victor Miller to write the movie. And the movie came out, and it was I don't know if it was a box office smash, but it was a damn good movie. And then they made sequels, and it birthed my favorite horror franchise. Now, my favorite horror movie of all time is Event Horizon, but Friday the 13th is my favorite horror franchise. Like I just love Jason Voorhees. Such a great character. I don't think I brought him out with me this time, but last episode you saw Lawrence playing with him and all that. Huge fan. And so they made a bunch of movies. There's 10 movies, and there's a crossover with Freddy. Then there's a shitty remake that we don't talk about. But there was talks for a while of Sean Cunningham doing a Friday the 13th TV show. Not to be confused with the original Friday the 13th TV show that had nothing to do with the series of movies. The one that actually has Jason Voorhees in it. And it was going to take place at Camp Crystal Lake. And it was going to be like an anthology series. So every season was going to be a different year. And it was going to take place in between the movies and showing like other people coming to the camp and what happens with them and all that. And I just thought that'd be an amazing idea. Like, that sounds so fun. And they were talking about that a while ago. So I was like, well, what's going on with it? Is it happening? Is it not? Like, there was no real word on it, And apparently, so if you guys don't know, in the U.S., there's this thing called work for hire. It's apparently the only ones who have it. It's such a stupid concept. Basically, corporations pay you, and then you write things, but the corporations get the copyright because they paid you to write it. So they own it. So you create something, but they own it. And essentially that's how all of Hollywood works. Like all scripts and movies, like 90% of that stuff, it's work for hire. The corporations own it, not the writers, not the directors, none of them. It's the producers and the companies and the studios. They own it. So, and that was a big contention. If you guys ever watch Batman and Bill, they talk about that and like the creation of Batman. Bill Finger and Bob Kane. And Bob Kane came up with a lot of the concepts that we know as Batman, but Bob Kane it was a work for hire type deal, so Bob Kane got all the credit. It's it's a messed up system, and basically in this instance, but there's also another thing where you can there's another thing you do where you write something and then you can sell it to someone. And then after, I think it's 35 years, you can attempt to get the copyright back. And so, but you can't do that if it's work for hire. So there was a big legal case just recently between Victor Miller and I guess Sean Cunningham about if that was work for hire or if it was something he sold to him after the fact. Because Victor Miller wanted the copyright back to Friday the 13th. And apparently he won it. He won the copyright back. With a caveat. Because if you watch the original Friday the 13th, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen a movie that's like over 30 years old, but Jason isn't the killer in the first movie. Voorhees is the mother. And but at the very end of the movie, you do see Jason jump out of the lake and kill her, but it's like, is it a dream? Is it not? There's arguments to be made both sides. And that's what the judge said. So apparently, Victor Miller is getting the copyright back to Friday the 13th, but not and little boy Jason Voorhees, but not the killer Jason Voorhees, which just seems insane to me. But I guess it's like the copyright for Superboy and the copyright for Superman are two different copyrights, even though they're the exact same characters. Just one's a teenager, one's a grown man. I don't know how these weird, or like Sherlock Holmes copyright is public domain, but old Sherlock Holmes copyright isn't. And it's like, well, depending on what age you make him, changes the legality of the character. That's insane to me. But apparently that's where we're at with Friday the 13th. Is aspects of the story are now owned by different people. And it's like, oh god, if you guys have watched John's Corner this time, I was talking about Star Trek and some of their copyright issues, and it's just like, oh my god, yo, we're gonna have that with Friday the 13th now? Like, that's just insanity, dude. But, I don't know, it's interesting to see where it goes. It's looking more and more like that TV show idea is scrapped, and that we might be in the... we might be on our way to another shitty remake. Let's cross our fingers that it doesn't happen. That we get a sequel, a TV show, or something good, but don't hold your breath. Anywho, I'm Jonathan filling in for Law. This is Nostalgia 100. Give us legends.